welcome back to another video. My name is Jill and today I'm going to be hauling all the books that I've basically gotten for the last 2 or so months. So let's get started. So in this haul I have all the books that I've accumulated since my last book haul, and that's been quite a while since my last book haul. Like literally some of these books have been sitting on my floor for a good 2 months waiting to be hauled. So a bunch of these books are books that I bought myself. I also have a really good number of ARCs that I received from my local bookstore, and also my birthday was on the 18th. It was actually my 18th birthday, and some of my friends got me some books, so a small portion of this is going to be a sort of a birthday book haul. And yeah, I literally have like 25 books to show you guys, so let's just get into it. The first book that I have is a book that I just bought a couple days ago for myself, and that was Daughter of the Burning City by Amanda Foody. I know a ton of people have been receiving this book in book subscription boxes this month, and so I know tons of people are talking about it. And as much as I can gather, this book is about a traveling circus and this girl who can create illusions, and everything's all fine and dandy until one of her illusions gets killed, and I guess things go from there. And I've heard this book is super dark and super good, and I'm honestly so excited for it. And plus, like, this shade of purple is so pleasing to me, honestly. Like, that was one of the main reasons why I bought this book, is because just the shade of purple. I just love it so much. Next up, I have one of my most anticipated releases for 2017. It came out a while ago, but like I said, I've been waiting to do this haul, and that was Now I Rise by Kiersten White. This is a sequel to And I Darken, and I cannot believe that I haven't read this book yet, because And I Darken was one of my favorite books of last year. It is essentially a Vlad the Impaler retelling, which is what Dracula is based on, and it follows an anti-hero, and it's really super dark and really brutal, but so good. And so this is the sequel, and honestly I could not wait to get my hands on it. Like, I went to the store the day it came out and picked it up, and I haven't read it yet, and it breaks my heart so much. Next, I decided to pick up I Believe in a Thing Called Love by Maureen Gu, and first off, the spine is amazing. Like, do you see how pretty that is? Anyway, so all that I know about this book is it follows a girl, and she basically takes her dating advice from Korean dramas, and I guess she probably gets with a guy, and she tries to do their relationship like a K-drama. And I've recently gotten really into K-pop and like Korean things, and so this book is gonna be, I feel like this book is going to be so much fun to me. I hope it doesn't disappoint. I've heard some people say that it's pretty disappointing, but I'm hoping that it doesn't let me down, because the cover and concept sounds so cute. And next up, I got Rebel Spring and Gathering Darkness, both by Morgan Rhodes, books 2 and 3 in the Fallen Kingdom series. I've talked about these books a little bit in my July wrap-up. I've already read Rebel Springs and I enjoyed it. Again, it's not my absolute favorite thing in the world, but I still have hope that this series is going to get better. Basically, it's an epic fantasy series. It follows many points of views, and you know, it's just your generic YA fantasy. I've heard that this is people's favorite book in the series, and I haven't read it yet, so I'm excited for this, but yes. And next up is a book that I've talked already so much about, but I haven't hauled it strictly yet, and that was Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. If you guys want to see me just freak out about this book, literally watch like any of my previous videos, especially my wrap-up, because honestly, this book is one of my top 5 favorite books of the entire year. It's adorable. It's basically a Simon vs. Homo sapiens agenda set in the 1700s, following a bisexual main character, and the humor in it is amazing, and I love this book with all my heart, and I just want to squeeze it so hard. Okay, and the last book that I bought for myself was Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevers. I've heard it said both ways. And I know my friend Rayanne really loves this series, and I know also my friend Katie from Kate's Book Day also really loves this series, and I guess it's about assassin nuns, and I saw that they had a used copy at my bookstore for only a couple dollars, and I was like, hey, assassin nuns sounds pretty damn awesome, so I decided to pick it up. Hopefully I will be reading it soon, but you never know, but I've heard that it's fantastic. And next up, I have a good deal of ARCs that I mostly received from my local bookstore. I was also sent one from a publisher, and I also received one from an author, but I will start with the ones that I received from my amazing local bookstore, Changing Hands. So the first two I've already talked about at length in my wrap-up, because I've already read both of them, so go check that out if you want to hear a more thorough summary of my thoughts. But that is Moxie by Jennifer Matthew and The Bells by Danielle Clayton. This book I think comes out in September, and this book comes out in February of 2018. Like I said, check out my wrap-up if you want to know more of my thoughts. Feminist Revolution, futuristic, weird, I can't describe it book. Next up, I was able to get my hands on The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding by Alexandra Bracken, and guys, I'm so excited for this book because first off, Alex Bracken is one of my favorite authors of all time, and this is her middle grade series, and I love Alexandra Bracken with my entire soul, so I don't care what genre or what age group that she writes for, I will read her books, okay? Basically, I think that this book is about a boy named Prosper, and then he discovers that a demon is living inside of him, and it turns out that his great, lots of greats, grandfather made and broke a contract with a demon, so now the demon is inside Prosper, and it sounds really dark and really intense for a middle grade novel. And yeah, so this book also comes out in September. Next up, I got Jane Unlimited by Christian Kishore. I am so sorry that this is like totally gonna be glaring, but I saw lots of people haul this from BEA, and essentially what I gathered is that it's really confusing, the summary, but I guess it follows a girl and she has like 5 different stories through 5 different genres, as in, I guess this book includes her story told as a contemporary, as a fantasy, as a sci-fi, and I guess 2 other genres. I'm honestly not sure about it, but I guess, and the whole point of it is that if you really understand the character, you would know what story she is actually a part of, and the other 4 are just sort of illusions or something like that. But if that isn't enough to intrigue you, I don't know what is. It just sounds so interesting and so different, and I'm just so excited to give it a try. The cover is just so pleasing. Like, do you see the rainbows on it? I love it. Next up, I got sort of the same book twice, and that was There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins, and this is the finished copy, and then I have a chapter sampler of the same book because the publisher accidentally sent a chapter sampler, but I have both, okay? And this is Stephanie Perkins' horror novel, I think, and if you know me at all, you know that I hate horror, okay? It's not my thing, and so I'm hoping that, considering that Stephanie Perkins is a really famous contemporary author, that the horror aspect of this is not going to be too intense. I've heard that it's not like freakishly scary, but this like entire cover is creepy in and of itself, so I'm excited but extremely nervous to give it a shot. But I trust that Stephanie Perkins isn't going to ruin me. Next, I got another middle grade novel which I'm so thrilled about, and that was Witchwood by Tahira Mafi. This is the companion novel to Furthermore by Tahira Mafi, and I've heard sort of different things about this book. Some people say it's now sort of a YA book, some people say it's still middle grade. I guess it's going to be considered more of a crossover kind of thing. I guess this follows a girl who washes dead bodies for a living, which just, again, it sounds so dark and intense for a middle grade novel. But Tahira Mafi, again, is one to where I don't even care what genre she writes in, I will read all of her books because I love her that much. And next up, I got Dear Martin by Nick Stone. Now this is a different cover than the cover that people were hauling at BEA, but you know what, I'm gonna take it, okay? I was so thrilled when I was given the opportunity to get this book because, as much as I've heard, this follows a black teenage boy and he is falsely accused of a crime and he ends up going to jail even though he really didn't do anything wrong, and this sounds like it's going to be really important and really good, and I can't wait for it. And next I have Forest of 8,000 Lanterns by Julie C. Dow. I probably butchered that. You know, for the life of me, I don't know a lot about what this is about. So I'm just going to read the summary of this book because I don't want to butcher it or anything like that because I really don't know what it's about at all. But it says, 18-year-old Zifeng is beautiful. The stars say she is destined for greatness, that she is meant to be Empress of Feng Lu, but only if she embraces the darkness within her. Growing up as a peasant in a forgotten village on the edge of the map, Zifeng longs to fulfill the destiny promised to her by her cruel aunt, the witch Guma, who has read the cards and seen glimpses of Zifeng's majestic future. But is the price of the throne too high? Because in order to achieve greatness, she must spurn the young man who loves her and exploit the callous magic that runs through her veins. Sorcery fueled by eating the hearts of the recently killed. For the god who has sent her on this journey will not be satisfied until his power is absolute. In an East Asian-inspired fantasy world filled with both breathtaking pain and beauty, Julie C. Dow's reimagining of the evil queen legend from Snow White possesses all the hallmarks of masterful fantasy, dazzling magic, heartbreaking romance, and a world that hangs in the balance. What? So basically it's an Asian retelling of The Evil Queen, and that sounds so cool. I'm so ready to read this now. Okay, and the last arc that I got from my local bookstore is actually an adult arc, and it is Girl in Snow by Danya Kafka. I know that this is an adult thriller novel, and it was offered to me, and I thought to myself, that cover looks pretty darn cool, and I really do love thrillers. I don't like to read the summaries for thrillers before I read them, because going into thrillers knowing things is sort of not the point, and so yeah, I don't know a lot about it, but I'm interested to find out. Next up, I was sent a book by Entangled Teen in exchange for an honest review, and that was Project Pandora by Adin Polidorus, and this is a YA thriller novel. It follows a boy named Tyler Bennett, who is a foster kid, but he starts having these strange experiences. He wakes up having bloody knuckles, having no recollection of the night before, and he also has a burner phone that he doesn't know why he always has with him, and he honestly starts to question whether he can trust himself. And then this girl comes along, and she also is in a similar situation. Honestly, about both of them trying to figure out what the hell is going on. It sounds so interesting, and I love me a YA thriller, so I'm hoping that I enjoy this whenever I get the time to read it. And next, I was sent a book by an author, and that was Twisted Tales by LHA. That is her pen name kind of thing, and this is a short story collection, and along with this book came this like beautiful little package, and it came with all these goodies. I've already unboxed it, that's why I'm not like unboxing it right now, but it has like all of these bookmarks and this notebook and like this beautiful note inside of a bottle, and I just loved getting this package so much. Actually, like I said, this book is a short story collection including 20 short stories, and as you can see, it's pretty short, and so all of these short stories are super tiny, like only a couple pages each. I've already read this book, and I'm going to be talking about it much more in my August wrap-up, so stay tuned for that. So those were all of the arcs I got, and so now I have 5 books that I got from my friends for my birthday. The first one I have is from my really good friend Zach, and that is The Towers of the Sunset by L.E. Don't know how to pronounce that one, Zach. I think he said this may be either his favorite book of all time or second favorite of all time, but nonetheless, it is one of his favorite authors, his favorite book from this author, I guess. From what he told me, I know that this is sort of an epic fantasy book, and I guess it has a really cute romance, and it has a badass female thing and a really good magic system, and if it's one of his favorite books, I am so ready for it. Next, I got 2 books which are slightly ridiculous. The first one is a book that I already have, and that was Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I already have the paperback copy of this exact book, so I might be doing a giveaway of this book somehow, somewhere, but I'm not exactly sure yet, but now I have 2 copies of this. And the next book I got was In Real Life by Joey Graceffa, because apparently they think that I would like this because I'm a YouTuber. Anyway, I don't watch Joey Graceffa. I probably should because I know that lots of people love him, but I just don't, and so I don't know when I'm going to read this or if I will, but now I have it if I ever feel the need to. And the next 2 books I have were from my really good friend Elise, and I love her with all my heart. The first one was The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, which I am so pumped about, because basically she sent me a picture of all these classics and she's like, which one do you want to read? And I was like, I've really been wanting to read The Picture of Dorian Gray. I've just heard fantastic things about it, so me and her might be buddy reading this soon. And also my senior play that I am in is by Oscar Wilde, and I love the play that I'm doing right now, and so hopefully I love this as much as the play, and it's actually way shorter than I thought it was, so yeah, I love it so much. And next up she got me The Keeper of Lost Things by Ruth Hogan, and I'm pretty sure that this is an adult contemporary novel. That I could be wrong about that, but I guess it follows this guy named Anthony, and he is the keeper of lost things, and it says he has sought consolation from the year-ago loss of his fiancée by lovingly rescuing lost items, the things others have dropped in his place or accidentally left behind. Oh yeah, and I guess he goes out on this journey to try to reunite these lost objects with their rightful owners. So yeah, the cover is adorable, and it sounds like a really heartwarming story, so I'm hoping that I like it. So there you guys have it. That was my huge, long overdue summer birthday book haul extravaganza. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I would pick up the stack of books, but I would hurt myself, so I'm just not gonna try. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know down below if you are excited for any of the books that I talked about. And my Goodreads, Twitter, Bookstagram, and personal Instagram all linked in the description box if you want to follow me on those platforms. Give this video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new here and want to see more videos from me, and I will see you guys later in another video. Bye bye bye!